Meet the computer you can talk to. With Copilot on Windows, working, creating, and collaborating is as easy as talking. Got writer's block? Share your screen with Copilot Vision to help spark inspiration, and use Copilot Voice to have a conversation and brainstorm ideas. Or maybe you need some tech help. With Copilot Vision, Copilot sees what you see. Let Copilot talk you through step-by-step guidance so you can master new apps, games, and skills faster. Try now at windows.com/Copilot.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
I don't know what it's like to date a guy 2 weeks, have him have bad teeth and he needs his teeth, but have $800 for the landscaper and put it down on his teeth.
This is the plaintiff, Marilyn Farley. She says she met the defendant on an online dating site and ended up loaning him money to get some new teeth. Once he had his new choppers, he cheated on her with another woman. He refuses to pay her back and also owes her for a roasting and frying pan he stole. She's suing for $1,020, the money she's owed. This is the defendant, Edward Sullivan. He says he and the plaintiff were together for 8 long years, and they bought each other things, as is normal in a relationship. The $1,020 she's suing for is ridiculous, and this lawsuit is just her way of saying she's mad they broke up. And for the record, he never cheated on her with another woman. He's accused of being dental damned. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $200 for lost wages.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Mary Lynn Farley, you are suing Edward Sullivan, your former boyfriend, for $1,020 for money you loaned him for teeth replacement and a roasting pan and a frying pan. Okay. Wow. Okay. When did you guys break up?
Last October.
Okay. So literally you want, I always say, you folks commingle your stuff and then you're trying to get me to separate the pots and pans, but you're actually trying to get me to separate the pots and pans. You actually want your pots and pans. Tell me about the teeth. How'd you two meet?
Online. And
I am loving this case. Okay.
And then to find out, we knew each other.
Okay.
Because he was a service advisor for a dealership where I took my son's car.
Okay.
And we went out, and I'd say about two weeks later, he was complaining that his teeth were bothering him, and he made this appointment with this doctor that did teeth within a day. So he asked me to go along with him. I said, all right. I figured, somebody needs encouragement or a crutch, let's put it that way, and it's hard when you're going to a dentist. So he went to the dentist, and the doctor came out, and he took us into the other room, and he told me what he had to do to his jaw and everything. And I said, it's got to be done, I guess. So we went out and to be paid. Come to find out they needed like a down payment, I guess a good faith money, because I guess it cost them money to do moles or what. They asked him, he didn't have a credit card, he didn't have a check, and he had no money.
And you have been dating him how long?
Not even about 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness. And so you plopped down $800?
I was lucky I had it on me. It was for
Did you have cash on you?
Yeah, it was for my landscaper. What it was like. The next day I had to run, make sure I had the cash for him.
No, I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's like to date a guy 2 weeks, have him have bad teeth and he needs his teeth, but they have $800 for the landscaper and put it down on his teeth. I don't know how it's, I've just never been that in love, I guess. I don't know. Were you like really head over heels about him?
hey, I was good-hearted, and I figured, he needed it.
Now, you must have really liked him.
We got along fine. We had a lot of common interests and everything. But, but I knew he was in a tight place. I figured, why not?
Okay. Did you make it clear to him that he had to repay you?
Yeah, he knew that was a loan.
Okay. And then what happens?
Later, I told him to pay me back, and he did try to pay me back a little bit.
And what happened?
I told him not to because he had a lot on his plate. He had a lot of bills. His late wife had left him a lot of bills. So I told him, wait till you're on your feet and everything. And I wanted him to take the money and keep his bills up because...
Okay, but this happened in 2005?
Yes.
Okay. So why are you suing now?
Because I want my money. If you're going on with your life...
Where was your want for the last 8 years that you were with him?
I want to know that. I want to know his explanation of why he never made the attempt.
No, I want to know why a guy who owes you $800, if it's true he owes you, because I know what his answer is going to be. Why didn't you pay her $800?
It was a gift, Your Honor.
Okay, so now we have his answer. Let's get yours. He says it was a gift. That, you're in a relationship, he pays some stuff for you, you pay some stuff for him, there's money that goes, that weaves back and forth. But if you're really owed money, why is it that 8 years pass and you say not a word about it?
These litigants were together. She says she fronted him money so he could get new teeth, and with a fresh set of pearly whites, he cheated on her and left her high and dry. But she seemed pretty desperate for love. Let's listen.
I don't understand. He says that we bought things for each other. What did he buy me? I have a list of what I bought him. I didn't even know him more than about maybe 6 weeks, and I took him out to get him some new eyeglasses because he really needed them.
Okay, well, why are you complaining to us about it? That's how you live your life. And apparently it worked out because you guys dated a long time. It's not like, you're not one...
I don't understand it,
What happened in this relationship? What happened to cause you guys to break up?
He was cheating.
Oh.
He went
now
off.
I understand. Okay.
He says no, but he was.
How do you know he was?
Because when I used to go by the house, he was gone all times of the night, and I heard from other people what he was doing behind. I said, I don't want this, I want to go on with my life,
So let me hear from you, Mr. Sullivan.
I lost my wife in July of 2005, and me and the plaintiff, we met up in October of 2005. And in November of 2005, before Thanksgiving, the plaintiff knew that I was having some issues with my teeth, and I didn't have the cash, but she offered as a gift to me. And she came over for dinner, at Thanksgiving dinner, and my two sons were there. And my son has a affidavit that she was boasting to them, and myself, what a wonderful gift I gave your dad for his teeth.
A wonderful gift. And the gift was why? Was it your birthday?
The gift of getting my teeth fixed.
Just a gift?
Just a gift, that's correct.
Okay.
And then around...
How much did your teeth cost to get fixed, by the way?
About $9,000.
Okay. She only paid the $800 deposit, right?
She claimed she gave me the $800, but it was a gift.
Right. No, I understand. But you paid the rest of that.
I paid the rest.
Okay,
That's
so
correct,
go on.
Your Honor.
Did she ever mention in the 8 years you were...
In the 8 years, she never mentioned anything about the loan, about the gift of the loan.
Were there any times that you were trying to pay her back for her gift?
No, Your Honor.
You never made an effort to say, hey...
No, because she never asked.
Did you ever buy stuff for her in the course of that 8 years?
Yes, I did. She had a vehicle and I had a vehicle, and I paid the car insurance, for both vehicles through the whole 8 years.
Oh, I thought you said he never gave you anything.
I paid for the gas. That's enough. I'll pay for the insurance, you pay for the gas.
All right, let me just ask you, what have you got in the bag? Pots and pans?
Well, Your Honor, these are the pots and pans in question that the plaintiff is looking to have back. One roasting pan and one turkey roasting pan.
Oh, they're nice ones. Now I see why she wanted them back. Okay.
I had them before I met him. So.
Yeah. All right, so did you cheat on her?
No, I did not.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So 2 weeks she knows the guy, loans him $800. What do you have to say about this woman?
She's so desperate. I wouldn't even loan a sweater to someone after 2 weeks.
Okay, fair point. The question is, was it a loan or a gift, do you think?
I think maybe she was struck by his awesomeness and she just wanted to give it to him.
So you think it was a gift?
I think it was a gift.
What do you think about, what do you think about him?
I think he was clearly just not the kind of guy that you should be dating if right off the bat he's going to ask you for $800.
I was going more for slime ball.
Yeah.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
Did you start dating somebody else while you were dating her?
No, I did not.
Are you dating somebody else now?
I have a friend, but I'm not dating.
Have you guys had any communication since the breakup?
None whatsoever, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I did not see his sons for Thanksgiving. It was just the two of us. And in fact, we were supposed to be invited to somebody else's house, but
You're talking about in 2005?
Yeah.
Wow, you got a good memory. All right.
No, there was just the two of us.
All right, Ms. Farley.
And besides,
number one, I don't have evidence that it's a loan. But number two, and far more importantly, the statute of limitations has run. We're talking about something that happened many, many years ago. And, the law says you have to bring your case within a certain amount of time. Otherwise, you lose the right to bring your case. Why? Because memories fade and people can't be expected to keep records forever. And you are well past that time. Your pots and pans, there they are. And that the statute of limitations, of course, wouldn't have run on because the date for that would have been when you couldn't get them back, which would be a few months ago. If, in fact, did you ever ask for them back? You
Yes,
did,
I have
and
a
he
letter.
never brought them to you. Yeah, I saw those texts. All right, so you have a counterclaim against her for $200 for time from work. What is that?
Your Honor, I work part-time on Saturdays at a dealership after I retired from the dealership at 30 years. They asked me to come back to help out. And there are times during the course of the week that they do ask me to come back. Unfortunately, they asked me to come back today to fill in because they were shorthanded, but because I have a court date, I would have missed $200 for the day. That's what I get for the day, which I submitted.
Can I see something? Can I see proof that you were supposed to work today?
I just have the stub, but I was called.
Okay, but you still wouldn't be entitled to that. No. Your remedy when someone sues you is to win, and you just did, if you are right and they are wrong. So as for the pots and pans, they go to her, and as for the $800, I rule in favor of the defendant and 0 on the countersuit.
All right, so the plaintiff comes out here. You get your pots and pans back at least.
At least,
step
that's
forward.
right.
Step forward a little bit and tell me, you satisfied with that outcome?
Yeah, I am. It kind of showed, that some people do not pay you back. And I don't like it that he lied. He said that he tried, that I was a gift. And I knew. Yeah.
What took you so long to sue for it or bring it up as an issue?
Just because we broke up, it's something he got, Mm-hmm. It's not like he gave me $800 to have my teeth fixed, Besides, I wouldn't have let him sit and wait so long.
Do you miss him?
In the beginning, but I'm moving, so it's kind of taken up my mind and what I have to do and everything. So, I just have a warning to women: don't let men borrow money.
Okay. All right. Very good. Right down there. All right. So come on out here and. You got to give back the pots and pans, but what do you make of this?
I think she's a very pathetic person. I think she needs to move on with her life, and I'm very satisfied with the judge ruling. It's been quite a long time for her.
Well, that's what she says. She says she's moving on.
Right, and I think that she should.
Mm-hmm. You've done that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What did you two see in each other when it was going well?
I lost my wife right after that, so.
Mm-hmm. And so why did you have to break up?
It was time.
How are the teeth?
Teeth are fine.
Harvey?
So we talked about this before, but obviously you guys don't listen. You cannot buy somebody's love. You can never, ever, ever buy somebody's love. It doesn't work, and they end up actually resenting you, period. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels. On everything from lamps to ceiling fans, even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes. Now available in crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox. Clean feels good.
These are the plaintiffs, Frank Chen and Julie Sue. Frank says he hired the defendant's car service to take him and his girlfriend to the airport. They were going on a vacation to Portugal, and they missed their flight because the defendant's driver arrived late. The defendant is a no-good liar who has no business running a car service where people need to get someplace on time, and they're suing the lousy limo guy for $1,532.38, the cost of their flight change fees. This is the defendant, David Sang. He says the dispatch manager for the car service and the reason the plaintiffs missed their flight was not his fault, it was their fault. His driver had to make 2 pickups at 2 different addresses, and the second pickup had an address change. Besides, it was a very rainy day. The traffic was horrendous, and unfortunately, they missed their flight due to circumstances beyond his control. He's accused of not getting to the airport on time.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiffs say the driver didn't show up, and as a result, they missed their flight to Portugal. Now, the defendant says there was a horrible rainstorm and traffic was so bad it wasn't his fault. It's the case of Cool Your Jets.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Miss, who's who? You are?
Chen.
Okay, Mr. Chen and Miss Sue? Sue. All right, you are suing Yes Car Service, represented here by Mr. Sang?
Sang.
Okay. For $1,532.38 in flight change fees that occurred as a result of them picking you up late. They are the car service that you were using to get to an international flight. Tell me what happened.
So we booked a flight for 3 o'clock, catching a flight for 5:55 from New York City to Newark.
Okay, and where was the pickup?
Midtown. It's Columbus Circle, New York City.
Okay.
Yep.
And from there was supposed to be a second pickup, right?
Yes, there is.
And where was the second pickup?
It's West 19th Street.
So you had scheduled for the car to pick you up at 3 at the first place, take you to the second place, and then take you to the Newark airport on an international flight, and you scheduled to pick up for 3?
Yep. Usually the driving time would be half an hour, 40 minutes.
To the Newark airport?
To Newark airport, yes.
To the Newark airport?
Yep.
During rush hour? What planet are you living on? I fly all the time in this area. I don't think it takes 30 minutes to get from Midtown to the Newark, New Jersey airport. Do I have the wrong airport?
No, it
takes 30 minutes at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I would say 40 minutes.
Let's see how long it takes. That's why I brought my phone out. Okay. All right, so talk to me and tell me what happens.
We received the call at 2:58. The car service said they're nearby. They're a little late. They're going to arrive at 3:10 around. So we decided wait. She decided wait, and then at 3:15 we got a call, incoming call saying that they're nearby.
Okay.
Almost here. They're almost here.
Yeah, it's always almost here.
I'm sorry. 3:15 she called, and then at 3:24 we called again. She called again. They haven't arrived, and then they said,
why weren't you taking a cab if you're at Columbus Circle?
That's why we were told they're just a couple blocks away.
I know, but how many times does someone have to say, the check is in the mail before you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a New Yorker. This is a very New York kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay, when someone tells you we're a couple blocks away and it's half an hour later and they're still not there, you pretty much have figured out that they are not reliable, right? In fact, you kind of should figure it out after it could take almost 10 minutes to go around the block in New York. But when is it that you guys were going to cut your losses and take a cab? Because, by the way, where you are in Columbus Circle, there's a cab every 4 seconds, right? Every 4 seconds there's another cab in front of you, right? Right.
Actually, not only he said that he's a few blocks away, he also said he'll be here soon.
Okay, and then but as the minutes passed and that was obvious that it wasn't true, why didn't you just abort? I mean, because you're telling me you waited for him for 40 minutes.
Right.
Trusted him.
At the end of this whole thing, they arrive around 3:40.
I get the first 10. I get the first 10 minutes. But when you have a flight in 2 hours and 50-something minutes, which means that they're closing the door on an international flight, and I don't get past the first 10 minutes. I don't get past scheduling it at 3. Can I ask you a question? Why were you 40 minutes late? Why was your firm 40 minutes late?
Well, it was 2 days before Thanksgiving, and that day it started raining like crazy in New York City. And as soon as the rain
2 days
starts,
before Thanksgiving? Because there's a couple of people in New York during Thanksgiving, aren't there? Go ahead.
And once it rains like that in New York City, the traffic is always very bad.
How long does it take to get from Columbus Circle to West 19th Street?
Normally, I would tell them normally about 20, 25 minutes.
Just to get from the first pickup to the second pickup. And then how long does it take to get to Newark Airport?
If the traffic allows, it would take another 40 minutes to go through the tunnel. It's not an easy thing in New York City, especially at that hour, at the rush hour.
So what ends up happening? They come to pick you up at 3:40. And why, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the answer to why you were late.
The traffic was just very bad. The driver called our station, which is actually I answered the phone from my driver. He said, I don't think I'm going to be there at 3 o'clock. I said, so what time you think you're going to be there? He said, probably about 3:30. I said, you better call the customer and let her know.
Except for that, what the driver does is lie.
No.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Well, maybe
every single time a car service is called, I have yet to hear a car service say, I'm going to get there about half an hour late, because you know that you're going to be canceled and you're not going to have the fare. So what you say instead is, I'm almost there. Give me a few minutes. I'm almost there. He's right around the corner. He's right around police officer. You know, there's always a story so that the client stays out there and still uses you. It's awful. But you guys know that. You're not from Kansas. You're New Yorkers. This is done to you your whole life. So you're not new to this game, right? Go on.
You could be right,
Oh, I know I'm right. I know I'm right.
So how long do you wait for a cab or a limo before you bail once the time they were supposed to have arrived passes?
You know, it depends how desperate you are. I think the limo company had a responsibility to get there in the time.
Give me a standard 15 minutes, 30 minutes. How long do you wait?
I'd say 30 minutes, most.
That's a long time. How long would you wait?
I'd only wait about 10 minutes. I think people have responsibilities and other places to be in life, and it's not fair to make other people wait.
Going in the back?
I'd go 15 minutes.
I would go with you. 15 minutes feels right, going inside the courtroom.
Did they pay for, you didn't pay for the fare, right?
No.
What ends up happening? You're in the traffic.
Yeah.
Go on.
We got off.
Oh, by the way, let me ask you, how long did it take to get to his place?
It was about...
I wouldn't...
You weren't there.
I don't remember exactly, but maybe, I would say 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was picked up.
It doesn't take half an hour to get to Newark because it takes 20-something minutes to get to his place. Go on. Because let me just suggest on an international flight, you might want to be in the same spot. But go ahead. So what happens next?
And then, so we were taken to, we were going to Holland Tunnel, and then by the time we got to Holland Tunnel, we knew, and she was calling the airport and saying, checking, when is the last checking time, and then TAP, the Portuguese airlines said that usually 4:30 is the last check-in time, and at the time we were at the Holland Tunnel, it's already 4:40, 4:45, so we thought we're not going to make it, so we decided let's just not even.
What'd you do?
We just got off the car.
Just got right out of the car.
Like, no, we're not gonna.
Is your luggage in the trunk or in your hand?
Yeah, we're in the back, and then we just left. We say, okay, we're gonna.
Wait, did the guy pop the trunk open for you to get your luggage?
Yeah. And he's just say, we're gonna, because we already decided our vacation. We asked for vacation from our offices, and we decided to just maybe try the next flight.
So what did you end up doing? Was there another flight that night?
No.
Okay.
So there was a flight next day. And we decided, okay, so if it's 1 day of a difference, it might be okay with our work, with our job, with our hotel and flight reservation. And then, so we decided to go ahead and change it.
Okay. And that cost you $1,000. You didn't get any credit for the original flight?
No. Well, we just ended up paying $1,530.
Right, but what were your original tickets? What did they cost?
2 tickets was $16.
Right, so did you get any refund on your original flight? Any credit?
Zero.
Zero, you just lost it.
Lost it.
Okay, what have we learned?
Well, we've learned that if we hold off this trip and then do it some other time, it's going to be roughly around the same amount, and we would have to wait. And we already booked the hotel. We've already scheduled our, vacation from the office, so we decided to just, do the trip, and
No,
get it over with.
That's not my question. What have you learned from the experience is my question.
If this happened to us again, we would just ditch the car service and
I would just say.
Well, that's one good thing.
Right.
How about, do you think that maybe it wasn't the wisest thing on a 5:55 flight, was it, to have a pickup at 3 when you're supposed to be there 2 hours beforehand on an international flight, and you don't take into account New York City Thanksgiving traffic, rain? It was raining that day, right?
Yes, it was.
Right. And traffic, I mean, this is crazy. I'm going to assume they were 40 minutes late. They claimed they were 30. I'm going to go totally with what you say. I can see from your phone, you're still calling them at 3:40, so it's not true. They were 40 minutes late, okay? They don't deserve a penny because they breached the contract. Well, you didn't pay them a penny, so that worked out fine. So the next question is, should they have to pay for your flight? Trust me when I say you could not have a more sympathetic ear. I am a person who this has happened to. Okay? So, and I know that the car services just lie and lie and lie and tell you how they're right around the corner. You couldn't get them. I have lived in New York for years and I know how this is. Okay? So I am a really good judge for you because I can't tell you how angry this makes me. But I got to look at what you guys did and what they did and try to figure out what the proximate cause is of your missing that flight. And I really think that that you shouldn't be scheduling a pickup at 3. That doesn't take it. As soon as you saw that it was rain, you should have moved the flight up. As soon as you saw that they were a minute late, because you were already cutting it crazy close, you should have hopped in a cab. You should have told them, you take a cab, I'll take a cab. If you had done any of the same things that someone in your position would do, you wouldn't be out the 1,500. So I can't say you're out the 1,500 because they were 40 minutes late. I think you're out the 1,500 because you weren't acting in a sane fashion that day, setting it at 3 and then not jumping in a cab when he was 5 or 10 minutes late. Put your hand down. You think you got to say something? It is inexcusable that you missed your flight, but it is your fault that you missed your flight. I do not find that the defendants have to pay for your flight. That is my judgment. Good luck, folks.
And with that, the plaintiff comes out on the losing end of the case. What's your feeling here?
Oh, I feel like it's, it makes sense.
Yeah, because it was poor planning on your part.
Well, and then poor communication on their part, but hey.
But the poor planning on your part makes you responsible for missing that flight. Why didn't you leave more time? Leave more time. Why didn't you give yourself more time?
Well, we had to work that day, so we try to maximize, the work time and try to,
You're like on-the-go New Yorkers trying to squeeze everything into it.
We're working people, so we have to work, right? So
yeah,
we
you
try
have to work.
Try to
okay,
maximize.
right down there.
Thanks.
Okay, they have to work. What do you have to do? Don't you have to take better care of your customers?
Yes, we should. Yeah, but when the rain starts in New York City, sometimes it's very difficult.
They have these things called weather forecasts. Yeah. Where you can find out in advance. You've heard of those, right?
Yeah, of course.
So you knew it was going to rain, right?
Kind of.
Why didn't you leave earlier?
Well, they asked for 3 o'clock, and then we try. But sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. It's just...
Harvey?
The bottom line is the plaintiffs could control their own destiny. They have a legal duty under the law to minimize their damages, and the simple way of doing that is when the limo doesn't show up, call a damn cab. I mean, it's really simple. You can't just sit there and say, oh, I missed my flight, which essentially is what happened. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Over the last 20 years, L'Oréal Paris has honored 200 women of worth, uplifting their communities. Women who see the worth in every person, overlooked or underserved, who see an opportunity for change, who see a chance for better. They may be one of 200, but their journeys are always uniquely one of one. Here's to 200 more women of worth.
We're worth it.
We're worth it.
We're worth it.
We're worth it.
This is the plaintiff, Fabiola Charles. She says she agreed to rent an apartment from the defendant, who promised her he'd put in new floors and make other necessary repairs before she moved in. Well, not only didn't he do the repairs as promised, the place looked worse than it did before she originally saw it. It looked as if a 10-year-old painted it, and the floors were awful and definitely unfinished. She got out of there lickety-split and is now having one heck of a time getting the defendant to refund her $1,170. So she's suing. This is the defendant, Bertram Strawn. He says he got the apartment into great shape for the plaintiff, but the woman could never come up with the full rent or deposit on the place. He tried to work with the woman best he could, but she simply didn't have the dough to pay the rent on time, and she bailed on him. Return her deposit after she cost him all this money? No way. He's accused of not being ready, willing, and able.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says her landlord swindled her by promising her new floors and whatnot, and she got nothing. But the defendant says the place was in tip-top shape. She was just broke. It's the case of you act infantile.
Okay, Fabiola Charles.
Yes.
You are suing Mr. Bertram Strawn for $1,170 that you say you are due, $1,000 of it a deposit that you want returned to you, and $170 for taking a personal day from work in order to deal with it. Because according to you, he breached a contract to rent you an apartment in a timely fashion with the repairs you wanted.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Well, in June, I answered an ad on Craigslist for a studio in Prospect Heights. I was excited because I wanted to live in Prospect Heights. It was a great neighborhood. And but when I went to see the studio, it was obvious that repairs needed to be done. He said that he would have the repairs done even by the 15th, he said. He said it would be easy. It was everything from the floors to...
What were the repairs?
The floors were obviously in bad shape. I took pictures of them.
So what was going to be done to the floors?
He was going to redo the floors, he said. He would have professionals come in and either take them up or just, Did
he say he would have professionals come in?
Yes, he said he would have professionals come in.
Do you have all that in writing?
He actually has a copy of everything that he was going to do in writing, but I have a text.
You don't have it?
He never gave it to me. But
he
does have...
Do you have a copy of everything you were going to do in writing with her?
Yes, Your Honor.
May I see it? Things to be done before move-in. 1, polyurethane and repair floor. 2, paint. 3, clean appliances and kitchen and bathroom. And then that's your name, and is that your signature or hers?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's your signature. All right, so in any event, you are supposed to move in June 15th.
No, I was supposed to move in July 1st.
No, but first you were supposed to move in June 15th.
He said he would, if he had everything ready, I would move in on June 15th.
Stop. I see a text from you where you say, I can't move in the 15th. You originally had an agreement to move in the 15th.
No, we never put it in writing that I would move in the 15th.
I don't care what's in writing. I care what's verbally agreed upon. Can you show me your texts again that were submitted into evidence? Let me see them. When did she agree that she was going to be moving in?
First, it was on the 15th.
Right? And then?
She texted and gave several days that either the 28th or about 3 other days she gave after.
No, but when did she text you and say, I can't move in the 15th?
I don't remember.
It was a few days after the first contract when he suggested that if the apartment was ready by the 15th.
Did you sign a lease in writing?
Yes, for the first. That was the original
Okay,
lease.
did you stop and listen? When did you sign the lease for the first?
On the 7th, June 7th. When I gave the deposit.
Where is the text that says I can't move in on the 15th?
It's in the phone.
Okay, that's good. Give me the phone. Come on up. If you want to say something, you can't say it from your chair. Who's that person?
My wife.
All right, I found what it is I was looking for, and ironically, I think it's you who submitted it. It's June 11th, a text on June 11th saying, hello, I hope you are well. I wanted to let you know I will not be moving in June 15th. That's 4 days before June 15th. I need more time to pack and save money. I will move in June 29th or 30th, since the 1st is a Monday and I have to work. I will bring you the 1,100 around the 28th. Have you started painting, renovating the floors? Did you send that message to
Yes,
me?
I did.
Okay. That was not on June 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It was on June 11th, 4 days before the 15th.
But there is a clause that says if the apartment is ready.
Let me see the lease.
But the original agreement was for the 1st. But if they could have it ready earlier, I was considering moving in earlier.
The rental agreement that you guys signed is that it's going to start in July. Then there's handwriting on the bottom that says $575 will be due the 15th of June.
If I move in on the 15th.
The prorated rent of $575, which is half of it, will be due the 15th of June if you move in on the 15th. That's not what it says, but okay, that's what you're saying it says. In any event, you don't move in on the 15th, and then what happens?
And then, so I go to him, as I stated in that text.
What was it going to be? It was going to be painted what color? It just says paint.
I said a yellow. And so then he told me he would paint it yellow, and then he said I couldn't paint it. I painted it yellow, but then it didn't look right, so I went back to an antique white or something like that.
Looks pretty yellow to me. Is this it?
Yes, Your Honor.
That doesn't look like antique white. It looks like really yellow. But anyway, go ahead.
This is the color the wall was when I went to see it. So if he's painted since, then that's something else. I have pictures of the day that I went to see it and what the apartment
So when do
looked
you
like.
go to see it?
I was going to give him the first month's rent to move in.
Which
That
is
was
on what
the
date?
28th.
The
or
28th of June. So you go
28th
in
of
there on the
June.
28th of June, and what do you see?
I see a hole in the wall. I see repairs that weren't made.
Did you take pictures?
I took pictures.
Let me see those pictures. But when you go in on the 28th, it's painted yellow.
No, because he had painted over it.
Did you paint over it?
Well, yes, Your Honor. I painted back in white after the 15th.
But you had painted it yellow.
Yes.
You didn't like how it looked?
No, I didn't like how it looked, but because I figured she breached the contract, so I just...
When did you think she had breached the contract? What did she do that makes you think she had breached the contract?
After the 15th.
Okay.
Because she was supposed to show up and pay the rest of the deposit.
Okay. Do you have any proof that she was supposed to bring you money on the 15th?
No, Your Honor.
Do you think he has proof? Yeah, go ahead.
The contract that you're holding?
Yeah.
That's still prorated for the 2 weeks because she didn't want to pay for the 2 weeks because she said she wasn't going to live there until she
Yeah, but this doesn't prove she... Okay, stop. Please, I'm reading your lease that you wrote up. Starting July 1st, monthly rent is $10.50. Then it says $575 will be due on the 15th of June. What did that mean? This is so. She says it means if I can move in the 15th, I will move in the 15th, and that's what the rent will be. But otherwise, my lease starts July 1st, like the lease says, Judge. What are you guys saying it means?
The lease starts July 1st, but she was supposed to move in on the 15th.
Your Honor.
Let me see what you got.
Yeah.
What is that?
This is the first contract what I'm going after. I rewrote the contract after she wanted the prorate.
You have a different contract?
Yes, we have to change it because she did not have the funds. It says she's not living in the apartment.
I have no idea what you're saying, but let's look at what you're handing me. You have a different contract than this one.
Yes, this.
Wait, which one came first and which one came second?
One in the left hand, Your Honor.
The left one came first?
Yes.
So in the left one, it says starting June 15th, the rent is $10.50 a month.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you have a lease with her where she's supposed to rent from the 15th?
Yes.
And then on the 7th, why did you do this one?
She did not have the funds to pay it, and I said, okay, I will work with you.
She did not have the funds to give you
Yes.
$10.50 on June 15th.
Right.
So according to you, what this second lease says is that she's moving in on the 15th still, but she's only going to have to pay the prorated, which is really what, I guess, what's
Yes,
fair
Your
anyhow. And she pay the prorated, and then she can come up with the rest of the money on the 1st. Then the 15th comes, and on the 11th, you get a text saying, I can't move in on the 15th. What do? Do you answer her?
Okay, she came back on the 20th. I did not hear from her from the 15th. I did not hear from her. And the 28th, when she came back, she said she come to move in, and I need the keys. I said, you can't have the keys. I said, I have painted the apartment. You said you wanted a Tweedy yellow. I said, I painted the apartment.
Tweedy yellow?
Yeah, so, you know.
Is that how she described it, Tweedy yellow?
Well, she did not actually use that word, but
okay.
Yes. But I painted it, and I changed my mind because you breached the contract.
According to you, she breaches on the 15th. According to you, he breached by not having it ready on the 28th. According to both of you, the place is painted white on the 28th. I got to figure out which of the two of you is interpreting this kind of fuzzy contract correctly. You say that I should look at this and that it does not mean you're moving in on the 15th. The statement that's on the bottom says $575 will be due on the 15th. You want me to interpret that as meaning, comma, if I can afford to move in that day.
But Your Honor?
If you go on the 28th and you were allowed to go on the 28th, then why has Tweedy Yellow been already converted to antique white when that wasn't your request? The only reason he would do that is because he felt you had breached already and he was no longer holding the apartment for you on the 28th because he feels that you had already breached.
But then he agreed to letting me move it on the 1st.
That's what I... Watch this. Did you agree to letting her move in July 1st?
But wait, I would give her the apartment regardless, you know. Once she comes up with the money, I'll give it to her.
What, but she could come up with the money on the 28th?
No, she did not.
No, but did she have the money when she came to see you the 28th?
She said no, she didn't have any money.
Oh, I'm sorry. So she didn't even have the money on the 28th?
She did not have the money. She told me she had the money. That's why I said, okay, come, let's do business. And when we come together, then she said, I don't have any money. I need the keys. And I said, this is crazy.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you sign a lease. What do you do if your landlord refuses to give you a copy of the lease?
I would not go with it. I would have to cancel my...
Okay, what if he gives you a really good excuse? My photocopy machine is broken, I'll get you one in the mail.
That's not a good enough excuse, I'm sorry. If he's making enough money, then he should be able to get a new photocopier.
Smart lady.
Yeah, he's supposed to give us a lease unless I'm not going to pay the check.
You're going to get the last word.
I would simply tell him, when you bring the lease copy, I'll give you the check.
That's actually very good, going inside the courtroom.
Did you pay him on the 28th?
Your Honor, I came with a $1,100 check ready to give it to him, and when I saw the state of the apartment via the pictures, I said, "All right, there's nothing done." And he said,
"Yeah, there's nothing done because you didn't pay on the 15th, and because you unilaterally decided to change things." But at some point, look. You are right that if you agree to certain terms that something's going to be done, then you're entitled to get your money back if the something wasn't done. The problem is the first breacher in this is you, through that text saying, I can't move it on the 15th, because I do not find that lease to be saying to me that you get to move in on the 1st. What it says is $575 is due on the 15th, which we all know didn't happen. So you come in, and then you have demands acting as if you never breached before. My verdict in this case is for the defendant. Oh, by the way, I have one more question, though. Did you end up renting the apartment?
Yes, Your Honor.
As of when?
July.
Early July. When in July? Stop.
The first.
So you didn't lose any rent?
I guess
Except
not.
for from the 6th. From the 6th when she came in, we figured, well, okay, for those 2 weeks.
For those 2 weeks you lost
yes,
rent. What was the rent that you were charging her?
It was $1,100. I take off $50. Took $50.
So it was $1,050 was going to be the rent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you were able to rent it as of June 1st?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
July 1st.
I'm sorry, July 1st. Okay, so your real damages then would be $525, right?
Yes.
That's what you're out. Okay, then here's what I'm going to do. She had paid you, what, $1,000? I'm going to ask you to give back, I'm going to order you to give back the remainder, because I find that she breached, but it's also a premise in the law that you're not entitled to make a bonanza. And what's supposed to happen is that you're supposed to be made whole, and landlords have an obligation to, quote, mitigate their damages. That means keep them to a minimum, which you did by being able to rent it out. I suppose there's your time and labor in the repainting of the place after you'd painted it yellow for her. How big is the place?
It's about 240 square feet.
All right, I'm going to order you to return $375 to the plaintiff. That way you get to keep $100 for the painting, for your labor, and $525 for the 2 weeks that you're out. That's my verdict. Okay?
Thank you.
Good luck, folks.
All right, so the judge finds that it was the plaintiff here who breached that contract. You understand that ruling?
No, I don't, because it said it's clearly from the first. I mean...
No, it didn't. It said clearly, according to the judge, from the 15th.
The 15th was an optional clause.
Mm-hmm. And so what did you do now as far as finding a living space?
I had to rent a sublet and find a temporary space.
And did everything eventually finally work out okay for you?
It's still working out because I still don't have a lease, so I'm working things out.
All right, well, be clear in the writing on your next lease. Head right down there.
Thank you.
All right, so step on in here, and you got $100 for your repainting there, and you got $525 on top of that. What's your feeling here?
Yes, wonderful. I really think it was rectified properly by the judge, and, justice has prevailed.
Okay, in your future contracts/leases, you're going to be more clear too?
Definitely.
What are you going to change?
We pay more attention to the wording.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Harvey?
I don't know how else to explain this, but it's amazing how, and I'm not saying this landlord is a crook, but it's amazing how crooks can sound so honest when they say, God, you know what? I can't get you a copy of this right now, but I'll get it for you later. Crooks sound convincing. That's one of the reasons they're successful crooks. Do not accept that. Get copies of everything you sign. I'm telling you, if you don't, you're asking for trouble.